go to a place like Austin, Texas, breakfast tacos are mandatory.
But what if you can't make it to Austin, Texas? Ooh woo.
That's weird. Sorry. That's. It was funny in my head. Just show the freaking thing. Wait, why am I opening? So I feel that my residency has reached a point of maturity in Austin, Texas, which means that I can now speak on the breakfast taco. It's a little bit overhyped. I really, if you're a motorcyclist, as a human, I respect you, but most of the places that serve breakfast tacos aren't really that great. I'm not gonna name names. It's a genius idea because a lot of restaurants are just using whatever their leftover Cisco order is, which is like, sure, it tastes good. But if you apply some craftsmanship to it, then you could have arguably one of the greatest breakfasts of your life. With all that said, let's do this, shall we?
So typical Austin, Texas breakfast tacos are served on a flour tortilla. Yeah, we're not gonna be using that pre-made stuff. We're gonna make it ourselves, obviously. Come on, you know me. First, you're gonna start with 2.5 cups or 355 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons or 7 grams of kosher salt, and 1.5 teaspoons or 6 grams of baking powder. Get your whisk and I like this. And whisk it until thoroughly combined. Now to that, you're gonna add 1/2 cup or 112 grams of lard or shortening, but look, lard is always gonna be better. Make sure that it's solid, not melted. If you really want to make people sob when they eat this, you should use bacon fat. We'll talk about it later how I made the bacon, but once it was done, I just drained the fat, strained it, let it solidify in the fridge. Smoky bacon fat tortillas, you're welcome. Using 2 forks or a pastry cutter, cut that into the flour mixture until you get a crumbly texture like this, sort of like a pie dough almost. Now while stirring with a fork, you're gonna add 2/3 of a cup or 160 grams of warm water. Not boiling hot, but also not like tepid, just, you know what I mean. Then continue mixing until you begin to form a dough, then gently knead it. Once you get a moderately smooth ball, stop immediately. She'll only take like 20 or 30 seconds. You want to handle this dough as little as possible. Now leave it in your bowl, cover it with plastic wrap, and let it rest at room temperature for 30 minutes. Okay, so look at that. Thanks to movie magic, it is the next day. So, generously flour a work surface, dump your dough out, and then you're going to divide it equally into about 12 to 15 portions, depending on how big you want your tortillas. The more balls, the smaller the tortilla. And look, I know there are only 10 here, but please take my advice, okay? Learn from the mistakes. Now roll them all into balls and let them rest for 5 minutes. Now in the meantime, while they're resting, get a cast iron pan that's at least 10 inches and set it over medium heat and just get it nice and hot, okay? And you want to leave this hot the whole time. Now once they're rested, what you're going to do is you're going to generously dust the work surface, dust your ball with flour. And then using a rolling pin, you're gonna roll and rotate to get a relatively even circle as best you can, and just keep doing that until you get it nice and thin. You want it about 1/8 of an inch thick. More specifically, make sure that they're thin enough that you can see your hand through them like this. Then just toss it into your ripping hot pan. There should be no oil, it should be totally dry. Then just let it cook, and it should start to bubble up like this. As soon as you notice that nice char on the bottom, flip it and repeat that until, well, same stuff. It should only take about 30 seconds per side, so if it's not doing that, turn the heat up. Then rinse and repeat with all your tortillas. Obviously, as they're finished, you put them in a towel with the towel folded over it. You should know how to keep a warm tortilla, right? Now, once your tortillas are done, let's make these breakfast tacos, huh? Breakfast taco number 1 is going to be a bacon, egg, and cheese classic. So obviously, to start off, we need to make our bacon. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can obviously do it in the pan the old school way. Another way is to toss it on a baking sheet, which you can cook way more that way, with foil, obviously. Toss it in your cold oven, and then set your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and then just let it sit in there for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until it's crispy, or however you like it. I don't know. Drain it on a towel, optionally, and, well, that's bacon. You don't need a ton of a tutorial on that. Now let's talk about the more important component, which is the scrambled eggs. In a 10-inch nonstick skillet set over medium heat, melt a couple tablespoons of butter, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Crack 1 to 2 eggs per taco. Scramble them in a bowl. Season with salt and pepper. Yeah, I know people are like, oh, don't season ahead with salt. Yeah, well, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Once your butter's melted and bubbling and hot, add your eggs and then immediately start stirring them with a spatula. Just keep stirring and cooking over medium heat until they look like this. It's not quite a soft scramble because it's a little bit of a larger curd, but it's a little bit more loose, a little bit more moist. It's nice like this. Don't overcook it. Season a taste with salt, and there's your eggs. At this point, you should know what to do. Take a nice hot tortilla, put your eggs in there as generously as you like, add whatever shredded cheese you like. I actually have some aged cheddar here. Toss on your bacon, and then insert it into your mouth. And also, if you're wondering about salsa, that's gonna come at the end of the video.
Let's just dive right in. First off, these tortillas are
Fire. I mean, look at that.
it's delicious. It's eggs and bacon wrapped in a beautiful homemade, whoa, bacon fat tortilla parcel.
Next is the humble potato, egg, and cheese. Now instead of doing roasted potatoes, we're actually gonna make hash browns. So literally just take a whole ass 2 russet potatoes, grate them on the coarse setting of a cheese grater. Don't forget to almost cut your finger on the grater, very good. Submerge them in water and let them soak for about 10 minutes. Drain the water out and rinse them 2 more times until the water runs clear. Now place the rinsed potatoes in a towel and wring as much liquid out of them as you can. Then heat a 10-inch nonstick skillet with a couple tablespoons of oil, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Also add a little butter if you wanna be real fancy. Season your potatoes with salt and pepper to taste heavily. Don't be too light here. And press them into the bottom of the pan pan and let them cook over medium heat for about 3 to 5 minutes or until nice and crispy on the bottom. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a little flip. You ready? And and look at that. Bam. Okay, well, it wasn't perfect, but it's good enough. Let it cook for the same amount of time until nice and crispy and cooked through. And that's it. That's your potatoes. And yes, this little flaky salt on top, always. It's going to be the exact same formula as before. We're going to put our hot tortilla down. We're going to put our scrambled eggs, same scrambled eggs as before. Some cheese, some hash browns. Fold up that bad boy and open your mouth.
Potato, egg, and cheese. Everybody loves potatoes. I really want the crispy. So by making hash brown, you get the most surface area. It's fat ass taco. That is it right there, bro. You ever just cook all day, like literally all day, and then by the time everything's done, you're like, I don't really want to eat. It's good.
Next one was more of an assembly thing, so just cook up some chorizo over medium heat until it's nice and crispy like this. And obviously cook through. Then to prepare your fried eggs, just have some nice hot butter or oil or whatever into a medium-sized non-stick skillet, crack in 1 egg per taco, and then let those fry until the bottom is mostly set. Then you can either flip them over or just baste them in butter until the tops are cooked. Then assemble your taco like this. First fried egg, then your crispy chorizo, some cotija cheese, sliced avocado, make sure it's a good avocado, some diced sweet onion, some fresh picked cilantro, and then you're good to go. Now that's something special.
I always wondered why people never really usually put like fried or poached that has a runny yolk in a tortilla. So fried egg.
In the mouth.
Oh yeah. That's that. Scrambled eggs get freaking boring, bro.
Now the last one's gonna be a vegetarian one. Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll do my best to make it vegetarian. In a medium-sized pan, you're gonna add 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of oil, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of butter. Heat that over medium heat until nice and hot. Add half of a diced onion and 2 cloves of sliced garlic and 1 thinly sliced serrano. Just saute that until everything's nice and softened and aromatic. Then add 1 can of black beans, season with salt and pepper to taste. Continue to cook until everything's nice and heated through, and then blend it until as smooth as you can get it. You can also totally use a potato masher if you don't have a blender. No big deal. It's alright if it's a little bit of a rough mash. And then adjust salt levels as necessary. Then take your tortilla, put your black bean puree. It's super tasty. Make sure to season it nicely and it'll be ultra good. Then on top of that, you're gonna add 1/4 of an avocado, some finely grated manchego cheese. I'm pretty sure that's vegetarian, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Don't put it if it's not. I don't know. Now I know this looks simple, but let the taste be the decider.
Oh yeah. So you eat this. Suddenly being a vegetarian isn't so bad. I'm joking. You guys get ragged on enough, okay? I love you. I kiss you no matter who you are or what you believe. Unless it's mean. You know what would go really good in this?
Bacon.
Okay, so in Austin, Texas, you can't have a breakfast taco without salsa. Big no-no. So we're gonna make salsa now. Now you're gonna start with 1 1/4 pounds or 550 grams of jalapenos. Now you can char them over a stovetop. I don't have a gas burner for some reason. It's a long story, but I'm using this. Just char them nicely until each jalapeno is totally black all the way around the entire darn thing. And place them in a container covered with foil so that they sort of steam a little bit. Now while those are steaming, in a small pot, you're gonna add 7 cloves of thinly sliced garlic. Cover that with half a cup or 120 milliliters of neutral tasting oil, and then place it on a stovetop set to medium heat. And then just gently cook those until they're lightly golden toasted. Now, if it's cooking too fast, just turn the heat down a little. Then strain that through a fine mesh strainer so you have 2 separate pieces, but don't toss anything. Now use a paper towel or a towel you just don't care about. Rub off the charred bits of the jalapeno. Cut their stems off, and then throw the whole thing in a blender, yes, seeds and all. To that, you're gonna add your toasted garlic cloves, but not the garlic oil yet, along with 2 raw garlic cloves, and the juice of 1 lime. No more, we don't want an acidic, it's just a flavor thing. Then turn your blender on and blend it until it's as smooth as possible on high, and slowly stream in all of your garlic oil until it's nice and emulsified, while blending, of course. You can then season it to taste with salt, and optionally, you can also strain it through a fine mesh strainer to get it even more smooth. And there you go, there's your jalapeno salsa. It actually wasn't that spicy, it really depends on the jalapeno, but yeah, do with it what you will. But do you want to know what I'll do with what I will? Well, that's confusing. B-roll.
Alright guys, and that is it. So we made breakfast tacos. There's a right way and a wrong way to make them. This is a little closer to the Austin, Texas way. I don't know about any other way. I'm pretty sure that has to be the only way. See, look at me being a hypocrite about the information that I just said before. Homemade tortillas and a breakfast taco is an undefeatable breakfast combination no matter who you are. Anyway, with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.